Hello everyone. This can't get out of Meghan's fear. Harry did it again. Who believes in Harry? Who still supports Harry? The fake always appears in the media with a silly and empty smile. I believe he doesn't know what to do when he appears, and Meghan will have to do a series of scenarios in advance. However, Harry learned royal courtesy, so he uses it so some gullible people think he is great, but I feel extremely sick. I think it's safe to say that people were just kind of dumbfounded by the fact that Prince Harry spoke on that recent documentary over here in the United Kingdom on ITV. You understand what I mean, don't you? You know, they are playing games that are biased, and they are basically saying things like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll never do that to you. No, 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 whatever you want to say, we'll make the public understand." But now there is a more significant issue. As you can see, since Harry has physically discovered these purported hard drives, the ones that were missing, putting everything together. Of course, as he was attempting to work on the book side by side with the ghostwriter, well, there is another issue now. According to the recent documentary for Prince Harry, who was included with Charlotte Church and, of course, the disgraced actor Hugh Grant, this was a major piece of news. Now that you understand the situation, Hugh Grant is the epitome of self-control. On the other hand, as I mentioned before, you are aware that Harry had basically asserted that he had either misplaced or been unable to locate all of this evidence concerning his ghost-written book. Furthermore, it was fascinating to see since, once more, this is going to play a significant role in the progression of that particular journey. Nevertheless, it has now come to light that there is a more significant issue. Now, here's the problem, because, basically, what's written down, and I've been told this from an unbelievable authority, is the fact that some of it is really unfavorable from Meghan's standpoint. You see, Harry has been pretty vocal about the way that Meghan was treated in the book, as well as the things that they were unable to do. I have mentioned this to you previously, and you are aware that everyone is highly knowledgeable about the house show. That was impossible for them to include that in the book because, legally speaking, they were unable to make it stand. That is the issue. Nevertheless, when you have specific instances in which Harry may have been claiming that Meghan was treated poorly, because, for example, people said this about her, or William did that, or the Queen wasn't especially warm or inviting, you need to provide evidence. To back up your claim, you have to say, well, why, how, and whom, because at this point, that is something that cannot be defended. Speaking of which, I really want to know if you think Prince William should punish Harry harshly. If you think it is necessary, comment number 1. If you think Harry does not deserve to be punished, comment number 2. Return. She makes sure that, whatever you might think about her, the story gets out, but she's never attached, you see, because Harry's written it. Now, that could literally be out in the public domain, literally read out in court, and it's something that sent Meghan into a stratosphere of annoyance. This is because, of course, she is very clever. As I've said before with Meghan, she makes sure that the story gets out. It has nothing to do with her, even if Harry has written it down in his book. The essence of what she stated was, "I'm not going to have anything to do with the book," despite the fact that we are aware that she was the one who taught the book. You can see how this comes about. I would not argue that this is going to be a problem for the British monarchy. Rather, I would say that it is going to be a problem for Meghan and Harry, and more especially for Harry. If this were to become public knowledge, it would not only cause more controversy, but also more negative press. In addition, as His Majesty, the King has stated, he is more concerned about the mental health of his youngest son. This is simply due to the fact that he is aware of the capabilities that his son is capable of achieving. Nevertheless, moving forward, it appears that this will most likely be brought to light in the upcoming phase of this legal proceeding within the next few months. In Harry's opinion, this is hardly a piece of good news. Consequently, he was unable to recall exactly where he had placed them, which is the cause, of course. On the other hand, the law is the law, and even Prince Harry had to abruptly realize that it was the law. I have never seen anyone get off as easily as Hugh Grant. He barely said, "I am sorry," sort of, and that was that. His famous girlfriend, whose name I am forgetting, didn't even wince. And to think people won't let the acquitted Kevin Spacey work. I dropped my subscription to Netflix, and any channel that has them on there, I don't watch, I boycott. How just Harry can run off at the mouth, and no one challenges his lies, is abhorrent. The entire world knows how Queen Elizabeth felt about this kind of behavior. Anyway, Meghan has ruined them. She has completely ruined the image the palace created of Harry. She thought she could humiliate and compete with the British monarchy as revenge, but no, half in, half out. Well, they're still trying to do just that, with very negative consequences. I think King Charles will one day have to do what every other parent throughout history has faced. Let your child grow up and face consequences for their actions. It may hurt, it may be awkward, but one day, all parents face this. It seems that Harry was spoiled since he was young. His family thought he lost his mother at a young age, so everyone wanted to make it up to him. So what happened was, he was spoiled, stupid, and couldn't tell right from wrong. On the other hand, King Charles was the king of the whole UK, so his personal feelings couldn't affect the image and order of the kingdom. That's a web of lies, meanness, evil, spite, vindictive, using, backstabbing, jealousy, bitterness, anger, hurt, and just a mess. Meghan didn't like that Harry went off script. You can bet he got a right rollicking from her later. Certainly, they are the right couple to talk about bullying. They have first-hand experience dishing it out. Anyway, Harry is so dense, he wouldn't know that paper trails are required in a court of law. Seems as though nobody's prepared to ask Harry questions that haven't been given to him. Harry said his grandmother was behind him 100% with his court cases. He didn't know his grandmother very well then. She was a very tactile person. There was no way would she have agreed with him. She loathed public spectacle, something Harry didn't get it. In fact, Harry knows that the late Queen would not be behind him at all. In any of his many court cases, he lied to make himself look better by saying his grandmother would approve or approved of him bringing all these lawsuits before she passed away. Why does he keep dragging others into his and her crazy world, if not his late mother? It's our late great Queen Elizabeth. Have they have no shame? Do you see that Harry looks stoned out of his tiny mind? He needs rehab. Nothing good can come from his constant drug use. Isn't it frightening that a human being can be so devious and manipulative, and her spouse still isn't clued in? Maybe Harry's a lot tougher than the fragile image he projects that helps him get away with things. Do you think so? To be honest, I think Harry's just a spoiled brat wimp. What real man allows his wife to make him look such an idiot on the world stage? This slow-mo train wreck is starting to go off the rails totally. I would not want him to have what was formerly called a nervous breakdown. Frankly, it is surprising a little that has taken this long. While Meghan is trying to look the calm, innocent wife, while she's letting him look and be the crazy, prize-grabbing husband, all controlled by her scheming to get a divorce. This new venture seems to be one Prince William covered years ago, and crosses with some of Catherine's early years progs. They're simply copying ideas again. It just proves, once again, what a complete lowlife he is. He doesn't have any sense of decency. He married the right person. Both of them are as hard as each other. How can a man who refused to get his wife mental health care be qualified to speak on any mental health issue? How can a man admit he is a habitual drug user and speak out about teenage issues? True, and yet both Meghan and Harry backtracked on that lie with another lie, stating recently that Harry did provide a therapist to help Meghan. She spoke of meeting that doctor in her latest interview, so they both lied again. So surprise. If Harry was smart, he wouldn't commingle any of the inheritance money with Meghan. If he does that, she's entitled to 50% of the inheritance money under California law. Just making one house payment with funds from his inheritance is all it takes to be commingled in California. Harry may not know this, but his wife knows it. Unless he tells Auntie Anne to hold on to it, and tells the Jam women, "There is no." I think it can now safely be asserted that Harry has for many years privately harbored an abiding hatred for his brother and his father. Harry fooled everyone into believing he shared a close bond with William and Catherine, and, at minimum, an agreeable and cordial relationship with his father, and even Camilla. It was all a charade. That shocking and prolonged period of duplicity is all the more reason to now regard Harry, in all matters, with a profound level of skepticism. Harry most certainly cannot ever again be taken at his word, not in books, not in interviews, and not in documentaries. I'm hoping Harry continues with the legal actions. Then maybe he might learn a few lessons when he loses. He is oblivious to any consequences, because as a prince, he is unchallengeable. Repeat again. I have cancelled Netflix because of those two liars who continue to talk about subjects they know nothing about. Netflix doesn't seem to care who they hurt when they put out such garbage. It is one thing to put out documentaries that, disturbing as some are true. It's another thing to put out documentaries full of garbage, just for ratings' sake. I won't support people who line their pockets like that. End of story. What about you? How do you feel about the above issues? What will you do to make them pay for their madness and stupidity? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I always hope to bring quality content to you. Hope I will receive a lot of love from everyone by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Now goodbye, and see you again.